Good evening. Saskatoon Police are asking you to keep an eye out for a man last seen leaving the St. Paul Hospital. 43-year-old Gaston Habia-Carey had been living in Edmonton, more recently in Saskatoon. He was released from St. Paul's Hospital on January 19th and since has not had any contact with friends. Police are worried about his safety due to threats to cause harm to himself. Habia-Carey is described as a black male with a thin build. He's bald and has a long face. Now he wears glasses, walks with a limp, and speaks both English and French. Now anyone with information is asked to call Saskatoon Police or Crime Stoppers. With the May long weekend almost here, gasoline prices are jumping. Earlier this week, gas was sitting between $1.11 to $1.15 per liter. But this afternoon, the posted pump price at most stations in the border city was sitting at $1.19.9. Now, at least one station is pumping gas for a few cents cheaper than that, but the price of gas at some stations is up to $1.23.9 a liter. A partial fire ban has been implemented in the RM of Frenchman Butte. Now, any burning permits obviously issued are no longer valid, effective immediately. There's also a full ban on fireworks materials. Only recreational and incinerator fires are permitted. They must be contained, supervised, and fully extinguished upon completion. Now, anyone burning without a permit or with a canceled permit will be fined. Now, with the warm weather, more motorcycle riders are expected on the roads. And in this week's Healthy Living, Anna Stansla gives us some tips on how to keep safe while sharing the road with the motorcycle.
For most riders, the thrill and speed of the motorcycle is what draws them in. But according to the RCMP, they have a higher risk of being severely injured or killed if involved in a collision with another vehicle.
I've had trucks turn in front of me where I've had to put the brakes on fairly firmly, but always avoided the accident. You have to be very alert when you're on a bike. You're only on two wheels, you have nothing around you, so you really have to be paying attention.
And it's not only motorcyclists that have to pay attention. Drivers play a big part in ensuring safety on the road. Colin Vince, who's been riding for the past 20 years, believes defensive driving is key.
Just be very defensive, especially in town you have to. Highways, you've got a greater distance to watch what people are doing. But in town, you're shorter distances, there's so many side streets, you have to watch people just pulling out in front of you.
There are many factors that can cause a collision, including impaired and distracted driving and speeding. And it's one Vince sees all too well.
Oh, lots of people still texting and talking on phones, or they're chit-chatting with other people, and they'll just pull right out in front of a bike because a bike's a smaller object. They're not paying attention.
Both Wakefield and Vince give some important tips to remember when sharing the road with a motorcycle. They say to not only check your rear view and side mirrors when changing lanes, but to shoulder check as well. Not speeding and paying attention to traffic is vital. And when you're driving, observe the 3-second following distance rule between a motorcycle and your vehicle.
We're treated the same as any other vehicle on the road. We follow the rules of the road as well.
Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
2013 marks a major milestone for one of the most popular squadrons in the Royal Canadian Air Force. As Clayton Brown explains, these Snowbirds have been a staple in the Canadian military since 1971, but its history goes back much further than that.
For 43 years, the Snowbirds have been wowing crowds across North America. But they are part of a much richer history. The Snowbirds belong to the 431 Squadron, which is actually celebrating its 70th anniversary.
The squadron was born in England as a bomber squadron in 1942 and had a few variations after that. So they flew a variety of World War II era bombers. And then in 1971, the Snowbirds became an air demonstration squadron.
The show consists of 9 planes flying very tight formations at high speeds, meaning each pilot must go through a full year of training before they fly any shows.
And if you're on the left side of the formation, you're looking right, or if you're on the right side of the formation, you're looking left. So you're not actually looking at the plane in front of you, you're looking at the plane beside you. And the trust is inherent that everyone is going to be in their position.
The incredible maneuvers make for a spectacular show which has been enjoyed by millions.
it's a good example of what the Canadian military can do, and it's just beautiful to watch.
I've never seen it before. It was really nice to see it. Really exciting how they could do it, and so like how they could stay together so good.
We perform about 60 flying events in about 38, 39 locations this year. So it's busy. We get to go home for about a week during the summer.
At Fort Wayne Cold Lake, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
You may have heard of people taking a dance class to get in shape, but the latest fitness craze is a slightly sexier version of your typical jazzercise. One dance teacher has decided to shake things up in the studio with a new take on an old form of movement.
3, 4, and a 1, 2.
Burlesque is the newest form of dance and exercise for women to get into shape, and it's becoming quite popular as word spreads.
Well, there's quite a big trend in like the pole dancing, strippersized, burlesque. Burlesque is a little more demure.
Rayanne teaches a mini dance routine each Wednesday that focuses on a combination of walks, struts, kicks, and turns in an effort to help women feel a little more confident.
I feel like I just want the class to kind of make women like comfortable with their bodies and just have fun and just have like an ease and freedom with movement.
Anyone interested in joining the movement can visit the Roots website to view the class schedule. In Ag News, dry and sunny weather has allowed seeding to start in most areas of Saskatchewan. Kyle Gallagher has more in this week's Ag Report.
Conditions have been perfect for producers over the last week. Warm, dry weather has allowed most farmers to get out in the field and start seeding. According to the latest weekly crop report, about 8% has been planted across the province. The seeding season is a week or two behind, but there hasn't been any change in the demand for seed.
A little bit of talk earlier on about changing varieties, going to earlier varieties, but so far nothing, so no changes so far.
And while the seeds themselves haven't really changed, the equipment used in the process has.
Bigger, 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 right? And obviously that is kind of the forefront, and everything, as you can see behind me, the more footage you can cover in a single pass, the better. But
as the price of producing continues to rise, the emphasis on efficiency is becoming a major issue for farmers.
What's really helping these producers out there is the use of the AutoTrack system. And the AutoTrack system is just a guidance system that's actually steering the tractor for them on the straightaways, and it prevents any overlap and either seeding twice or putting too much fertilizer down, and then when it comes.
The technology has become so advanced that farmers are able to monitor their equipment with their smartphones.
It'll plot the location of it.
And producers are hoping the nicer weather keeps up so seeding doesn't get delayed anymore.
Our products are very dependent on going down to a certain time of the year, and if we happen to have a late year, we happen to get a rain, it really throws a loop into how things are done.
Kyle Gallagher, Newcap News.